Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Good morning and welcome to Kahului Hongwanji Buddhist Temple's online YouTube service. Today is Sunday, December 13th, 2020, getting near the end of the year. We'll just have a very simple service today. We began already with the Kancho, ringing of the Kancho, and now we will have the Vandana and Tisarana, followed by the Sutra 12 Homages, which is the English version of Junirai. Following that, we will recite the Golden Chain of Love, and then I will share a Dharma message with you. After this, we will chant the Metta, or the Lovingkindness meditation, and then sing the Nembutsu and have a few closing words. So thank you very much for joining us. Almost at the end of the year, so we're kind of gearing up for I'm sure you're all gearing up for the holidays, and it's been a difficult year, so maybe we can come to an end of it with some optimism or strength to build a better future for everyone. So thank you very much, and let's begin our service now. Let's put our hands together in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Bhutang saranang gacchami, dhammang saranang gacchami, sanghang saranang gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Gods and men all bow in awe to Amida the revered, in Buddha's wondrous pure land. Bodhisattvas gather round, golden form like the mountain king, steadfast like the elephant's pace. Buddha's eyes like the blue lotus. Thus I bow to Amida. Buddha's form round like the moon, bright like thousand suns and moons. Buddha's voice like the nightingale. Thus I bow to Amida. Buddha's figure on Kanon's crown, adorned with wondrous features. Buddha subdues evilness. Thus I bow to Amida. Beyond compare, Amida's pure, virtue shining clear like space. All benefit from Buddha. Thus I bow to Amida. Bodhisattvas all renown, Maras to praise Amida. Primal vow made for our sake. Thus I bow to Amida. Golden ponds where lotus bloom, towers a throne of goodness. Buddha lives like the mountain king. Thus I bow to Amida. Bodhisattvas come afar, attaining true happiness. They revere the Buddha's face. Thus I bow to Amida. All life changes like the dew. We have no permanent self. Buddha teaches this law to all. Thus I bow to Amida. No evil in the Pure Land, and no fear of evil paths. Faithful hearts honor Buddha. Thus I bow to Amida, saving us through many ways. No tempters, no evil friends. Birth leads to enlightenment. Thus I bow to Amida. Amida, thus I have praised, virtues boundless like the sea. These virtues shared with others, for birth into the Pure Land. Namandabu, 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 Namandabu. The virtue of Amida's vow is shared equally by all, together attaining awakened mind. We are born in the land of peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Golden Chain of Love. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Good morning. Would you please join me in Gasho as we recite the Nembutsu? Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Good morning again. I'd like to share a message with you, a few reflections about the Buddhist teaching. This is called the form of water. There is a very ancient Buddhist sutra. It's called the Shoramgama Sutra. And in it, the Buddha teaches that behind the desires and worldly passions that the mind entertains, there abides, clear and undefiled, the fundamental and true essence of mind. What does this mean? Thinking about this is really at the heart of Buddhism. You wouldn't think so, but this really is what it means to be a Buddhist. You might think that being a Buddhist means belonging to and supporting a temple, or having family memorial services, observing Obon and the New Year and things like that. Actually, those things, while they are very meaningful and they're good things, they're important practices, they are not in themselves fundamental to Buddhism. In fact, you could be a very good Buddhist and never ever observe Obon or have a memorial service for a family member. But if you are not aware that desires and worldly passions are causing you to suffer, and if you are not looking for the clear and undefiled, fundamental and true essence of mind, then there is no Buddhism. Even if you perform every Buddhist ritual that ever existed, even if you do all those things religiously. After making that statement, the Buddha then reminds us of the nature of water. He teaches, water is round in a round container and square in a square one, but water itself has no particular shape. People often forget this fact. So he's saying that water appears to be the shape of whatever container it's put in, but water itself has no shape. It is a fluid. Its form reflects the conditions in which it exists, but that form is not permanent or final. It has no shape apart from the conditions which exist in the present moment. If it happens to be in a round glass, it's round. If it happens to be in a square container, it's square. In using this example, Buddha is reminding us that our own existence, what we call our self, is just like this. Buddha taught that we have no permanent self. Our self has no existence outside the conditions which exist at this moment. Our self is totally impermanent. Nothing is fixed or lasting. Our self and our whole existence are constantly changing and without any fixed form. To realize this is to reach pure and undefiled mind, the mind that exists in peace with the constantly changing conditions that form each moment of life. So, just like the water, right? We are what the conditions that exist allow us to be at this moment. Right? Just our very existence, for example. We are alive, we are here now, able to breathe and eat and smile and enjoy life because the conditions of life have made that possible for us. The Buddha then teaches, people see some things as good and some things as bad. They like this and they dislike that. They discriminate existence from non-existence, and then being caught up in the entanglements of all their judgments, they suffer and experience constant stress and dissatisfaction. All of our attachments, all of our discriminations and judgments are rooted in our mind, which is obscured by our desires and worldly passions, so-called, a false sense of who we are, of what we really are, and in a false sense of what the world is, a false view of reality. We think that if we can control and hold on to the things we like, and avoid or ignore the things that we dislike. Hang on to the pleasant, wonderful, happy things, but get rid of all the unpleasant, scary, sad things in life. Then we're going to be happy, right? But what really happens is, according to the Buddha, is that we experience stress and dissatisfaction constantly. We're never at peace. So the Buddha says the following: if people would only give up their attachments to these imaginary and false discriminations, thinking we know what's good, what's bad, what's, holding on to the pleasant and avoiding the unpleasant and so on. If we could just give up our attachments to these false discriminations, and he goes on, and restore the purity of their original minds, then both their mind and their body would be free from defilement and suffering. They would know the peacefulness that comes with that freedom. That's what the Buddha says. To say it more simply, I think, the Buddha is saying that if we realize the true nature of our own self, our mind will become pure and full of peace, no matter what happens in life. So that should be easy to do, right? Just realize the true nature of your mind, and everything will be fine. Your mind will be pure and full of peace. It's not so easy to do that. In fact, it's really hard. I personally have never been able to give up my attachments, my worldly passions. No matter how hard I try, I don't think I could restore the purity of my original mind, not by myself. I might be able to understand the Buddha's teaching intellectually, that I only exist because of causes and conditions, that I am like water in a vessel, and that I take the shape of the conditions of life, that I have no permanent self. I can understand that in my intellectual mind. But if I'm being honest, I have to admit that I always still think I'm important in some way, and that myself, this self that I have, this I, this ego, must have some kind of permanence, right? It's hard to think of yourself as not existing, that there isn't some part of you that goes on and on. It's hard to think of yourself as completely impermanent. Normally, I think that way. And when I think about other people, I always have plenty of judgments about them. I criticize others, sometimes gossip about them, make judgments about other people. It's shameful, but that's what I try not to do that, but it's something, of course, we find ourselves falling into very easily. And this is what the Nembutsu teaching is really all about. You and I don't have pure minds, and no matter how hard we try, we cannot make our minds pure. We can't make ourselves nothing by destroying our attachments, and we can't find the true essence of our mind on our own. But Amida's mind, Amida Buddha's mind, is pure and without judgment. Amida realizes the emptiness of all things and is filled with compassion for all of us suffering beings. Because of this, Amida, now this word Amida, the name of Amida Buddha, the word means boundless or measureless, and this means that Amida embraces all of us just as we are. We are part of that boundless reality that Amida always embraces with infinite compassion. And we are all awakened in that mind of great compassion. Amida fills us with boundless wisdom, and so we can naturally see ourselves as we truly are and respond in gratitude. Normally we respond to impermanence, to any challenge to our ego, with stress and anxiety, sometimes even anger. We become defensive. We try to hold on. But through the Nembutsu, gratitude is always arising in us, and we naturally feel appreciative of every moment of life. In the Nembutsu, we respond to impermanence not with stress or anger, but with gratefulness. And we say, how wonderful that I have been so fortunate to have this present moment, here and now. This moment is more than enough for me. The Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, is freedom from attachment, freedom from the suffering of constantly judging and criticizing others. Nembutsu is the voice of boundless life, calling us to awaken to the reality of impermanence, which brings us true peacefulness in every fragile, irreplaceable moment of living. Soon we will be celebrating the new year, the beginning of 2021. It's been a rough year, 2020, hasn't it? Well, the beginning of a new year is a wonderful opportunity to reflect on what is really important in our lives, especially with the background of thinking about what we've gone through in the last year. Maybe it's given us some cause to think about what's really important in life. And we can reflect and remind ourselves to always seek for a deeper understanding of ourselves and for the world we are a part of. And to aspire not only for our own happiness, this is the most important thing, but for the happiness and peace of all beings. None of the problems in the world are going to be solved until we start to aspire for the happiness of all beings. If everyone keeps aspiring only for their own happiness or the happiness of their own family or nation, or their own group, their own religion, their own party, whatever it is, we will never have happiness and peace in the world. To have that, we must all aspire for the happiness and peace for all beings. So thank you very much for listening. Please join me in Gassho as we recite the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Thank you very much again for listening, and please join us now for the chanting of the metta or loving kindness meditation. Thank you. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May I be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to me. May I live in peace and harmony. May my family be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my teachers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my friends be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May strangers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my enemies be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo.
Namo
Well, thank you very much for joining us today for our December 13th Kahului Hongwanji Buddhist Temple's YouTube service. I just have a couple of announcements. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone who helped with our fundraiser, which was yesterday, December 12th. Everyone who, all the temple members, volunteers who helped, worked hard to make sure that we had all of the food items ready for people to come by and pick up. We had a non-contact system so people could drive through and pick up the items that they ordered. And we had wonderful kalua pork and many baked goods. So thank you to everyone, and also, of course, everyone who donated and purchased food items. Let's see. Upcoming services will be December 20th and 27th. The 27th will be in person in the temple as well as the YouTube version. And if you are interested in coming to the in-person service, please call the temple for more information about that. There will, just as an advance announcement, there will be no YouTube service on January 3rd. So let me wish you all a Happy New Year, and let's close our service by reciting the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.